Hey YouTube, Tweak here, bringing you all an update to my Constellar Yugioh deck profile for September 2021. Following the Evil Swarm deck profile, I wanted to update Constellars as well, which you could say is the rival in the dual terminal storyline to the Evil Swarm deck, two of the final decks that went up against one another in the dual terminal storyline. A really awesome story. I can't wait to see how much more they detail it in the upcoming Hidden Arsenal set, so definitely looking forward to that. But until then, it actually hasn't been too long. I wanted to update the Constellar deck. We got some support a while back in Blazing Vortex, but with it, I actually haven't updated the deck since then, just haven't been able to gather a good amount of the stuff until now for the Constellar deck. But it's a really fun deck that focuses on Xyz summoning a bunch of different Constellar monsters with varying ranks. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So for the Constellar monsters in the main deck, I run 3 Constellar Pollux. Just like with the Evil Swarms, with Caster Constellar Pollux, when it is normal summon, you can normal summon 1 Constellar monster in addition to your normal summoner set. You can only gain this effect once per turn, but being able to have 2 monsters on the field right then and there just gives you your options for plenty of your different Constellar summons out onto the field. So 3 Pollux is definitely staple for the deck, just so you have more and more of these resources to make use of for all your different Xyz summons from the extra deck for your Constellar monsters. I also run 3 Constellar Sombra, another one for the additional normal summon. You can only use each effect of Sombra once per turn. When this card is in the graveyard, if it was sent there this turn, you can normal summon 1 Constellar monster for 1 less tribute, and you can banish 1 Constellar monster from your graveyard, then target 1 Constellar monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. Also, this card gains the following effects. This turn, you can activate this effect to normal summon 1 additional Constellar monster. It's all about consistency, and this is where Evil Swarms and Constellars have their main similarities with one another, being able to have these additional summons onto the field. But where they vary is with their summons, where the Constellars do summon out Xyz monsters, but they go for some of the higher level Xyz summons, while Evil Swarms stick more to the rank 4 summons for the majority of their different Xyz monsters. For the newest addition to the Constellar deck from Blazing Vortex, I run 3 Constellar Catechus. If you control a Constellar monster except Constellar Catechus, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can add 1 Constellar Spell or Trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use each of the previous effects of Constellar Catechus once per turn. And a Constellar Xyz summon that has this card as material gains the effect. If this card battles a light or dark monster before damage calculation, you can banish that monster. So a great way just to battle against many different monsters, and then have the option of just getting rid of it before it would be destroyed by that monster. But also being able to search your different Constellar Spell or Traps makes it very vital for the search power for a good amount of them that help with some of the higher ranked Xyz summons in the deck. It's a definite 3 of. I'm definitely happy we got it for the deck. It's something the deck needed just for consistency, getting resources out on the field to use, but also being able to make use of those resources and many of the different Spell or Traps we run in the deck for the Constellar monsters. I also run 3 Constellar Cause. This is a monster that just adjusts its level. It cannot be used as synchro material up to twice per turn. You can target 1 Constellar monster on the field, then activate one of these effects. You can increase its level by 1 or reduce its level by 1. So with Cause, you can have your 2 level 4 Constellar monsters on the field, and then raise the level of one, and then raise the level of the other one, and then be able to overlay them or lower the levels and go for a rank 3 Xyz, a rank 5 Xyz, or just keep the monsters on the field for the rank 4 Xyz. But most of the time with Cause, you want to go for either the rank 3 or rank 5 plays you have available to you with all the different Constellar Xyz monsters. For some of the other 3 ofs, the last one I want to run for 3 of copies are 3 Constellar Algiedi. I have 1 Constellar Siat in here to fill in the spot, but I definitely do want to run 3 of this card. When it's normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 Constellar monster from your hand. So just another easy special summon. Being able to summon out cards like Constellar Cause and then use their own monster effects to raise the level is just another additional option for the deck. You have the additional normal summon with Pollux and Sombre, but sometimes the special summon works just as good for that option for the special summon to give you resources on the field to use. You should always have at least 2 Constellar monsters in your hand, and then the option to at least have both of them on the field quite easily for those plays. For more of the search option for some specific Constellars, I also run 2 Constellar Sheraton. When this card is normal summon, you can add 1 Constellar monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a level 3 monster, and being able to lower the level of Cause to then use for a rank 3 Xyz play or one of the other Constellars you have on the field is very useful with Constellar Sheraton to then summon out Constellar Hyades from the extra deck being the only rank 3 Constellar monster that we run. For the other monsters that we run in the deck, I also run 3 Cyber Dragon just to help with the rank 5 Exceeds plays, because Constellar Pleiades is definitely one of our strongest Constellar monsters to make use of before going into Constellar Ptolemy 7, which I'll go over in the extra deck. I thought of using, like the Artifact Engine, definitely easy for the special summon, but if you're on more of a budget play and you don't have those or any of your Galaxy Soldiers, you can use Cyber Dragon, but you can always put in Galaxy Soldiers or the Artifact Engine in replacement of Cyber Dragon. It's player preference at this spot. Being a light level 5 monster just makes it that much more vital, since your Constellar Pleiades needs 2 level 5 light monsters to summon it. And lastly, for the monsters, just 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. It's the hand trap spot. If you didn't want to run this hand trap, you can always put in the Galaxy Soldier in this final spot as the level 5 light attribute monster for the choice of just getting out more and more Exceeds plays, then having the hand trap option of stopping some of your opponent's other plays in the deck. For the monsters, that's it for them. We'll now be moving on to the spells. One of the newer spells, it's back from the Arc 5 era of booster packs, but I run 2 Constellar Twinkle. Not only is this card searchable thanks to Catechist, you can target 1 Constellar monster you control, increase its level by 1 or 2. If this card is in the graveyard, you can banish 1 Constellar monster from your graveyard to add this card from your graveyard to your hand. You can only use this effect of Constellar Twinkle once per turn. So this recycle power really gives us option with our different level Constellar monsters. We can rely on Cause for a lot of the higher level boost, but sometimes if we just have cards like Sheraton, being able to use Twinkle to raise the level of Sheraton by 2 can be the play we need just to give us a level 5 monster. That's what's great about the Constellar deck. It's a very simple deck to use. They have straightforward effects, and just with it, your main go-to play is to Exceed summon out a bunch of different monsters. For some of the lower numbers for the Constellar spells, I also run 1 Constellar Star Chart. Once per turn, when a Constellar Exceeds monster is special summoned face up on your side of the field, you can draw 1 card. Not only because it's searchable, you can just activate this before you use Catechist for the Exceeds play and have that draw power. And also 1 Constellar Star Cradle. You target 2 Constellar monsters in your graveyard, add those targets to the hand. You cannot conduct your battle phase the turn you activate this effect. If you need that recycle power for some of those monsters, sometimes it's worth more just having that monster on the field to use than actually being able to attack into your opponent if you don't have any monsters to attack with to begin with. And these are searchable cards once again, so being able to add them to your hand thanks to Catechist is all the better. For more of the generic search power in the deck, I also run 3 Fire Formation Tenki. This is a searchable card for our Beast Warrior monster, which is Constellar Cause. Having the level adjustment be a searchable card that much more easily in the deck in the form of Tenki makes it a 3 of. We have the 3 search targets for it, but just that much more quickly to add to hand, and also give the bonus benefit of a power boost to it. For some of the 1-ofs for these spells, I also run 1 Reinforcements of the Army. Constellar Pollux is a warrior monster, being the search power needed for that card. I also run 1 Call by the Grave for stopping more of my opponent's graveyard plays. Also 1 Instant Fusion. This is to summon out Guilty of the D-Knight. Being a light monster makes it just another easy target to summon on the field to use for rank 5 Exceeds plays. Also 1 Harpies Feather Duster. A lot of the Constellar Exceeds monsters can handle bouncing monsters back to the hand, but if you stop the Constellar Exceeds summon, it defeats the whole purpose of the deck. So Harpies Feather Duster really does help to clear those. And 1 Monster Reborn, just for more resource special summoning back from the graveyard onto the field. And that is it for the spells. We'll move on now to the traps. I run 2 Constellar Meteor. During the turn this is activated, if an opponent's monster battles a Constellar monster, and the opponent's monster is not destroyed, shuffle it into the deck at the end of damage steps. So this is the answer for the non-dark and light attribute monsters that your Constellar monsters may battle against. Just being able to shuffle those cards back if it's one of the higher monsters, and also it doesn't target. So a big way to get rid of cards that can't be targeted by card effects in the use of Constellar Meteor just after your opponent's monster battles into it. And also I run 3 back to the front. I'll go over the play with this card at the end of the video. Just being able to summon back Exceeds monsters, not just the main deck monster resources, can be a big plus with this card, being able to give us more and more resources to use with our higher rank Exceeds monsters. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. I run 2 Constellar Pleiades, needing 2 level 5 monsters once per turn during either player's turn. You can detach 1 Exceeds material from this card to target 1 card on the field, return that target to the hand. And the fact that it's during either player's turn makes it that much more strong of a card, because then you just have that resource to stop your opponent's big summons with just the easy summon of your rank 5 Exceeds monster, which can be summoned out using your boosted level monsters on the field. For the lower level monsters, I run 2 Constellar Hyades. If you wanted to run run more Pleiades instead of Hades. You can drop the number of Hades to put in a third copy of Pleiades, but it's player preference at that point also. But with Hades, you can, once per turn, detach one material from this card to change all monsters your opponent control to face-up defense. Now, with Link monsters, it's sort of a weaker card, so if you want to drop that number down, it could be just another answer to the Xyz monsters, the Link monsters, because then Pleiades can take care of those Link monsters a little easier than Hades can. And our boss monster for the deck is Constellar Ptolemy M7, needing 2 level 6 monsters, but you can also exceed some of this card using a Constellar Xyz monster you control as material. Other than the Constellar Ptolemy M7, transfer its material to this card. If summoned this way, the following effect cannot be activated this turn. With it, once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, then target one monster on the field or in the graveyard, return that target to the hand. Now, you can get this card out normally. I'll show at the end during the combos how you can summon it without having to use the Xyz monsters, but using the Xyz monsters we have is a big help for that setup, because then it's just using monsters that don't have the material anymore for that play onto this monster. For more of the generic Xyz, I run one number 39 Utopia and one Utopia the Lightning for the light attribute boost power in the deck, along with one Star Liege Paladynamo, one Bujinte Tsukuyomi, and one Satellar Knight Deltaros. If you want to run Constellar Omega, it's more of a trap and spell shutdown Xyz monster. You can take out one of these 3 cards for Constellar Omega in the deck, but I find these to be a little more useful for the type of plays you may want to go for your Xyz plays, and there's no limitation to what you can summon out with the Constellar monsters you summon. For the Link monsters, I run the one Hippo Shenengan for the light attribute boost and recycle power, one Nightmare Phoenix, and also one Nightmare Unicorn to finish off the Link monsters. And for the fusion monster, I run the one Guiltia the D-Knight for the instant fusion target of summoning this card out onto the field. As for the go-to plays in the deck, a big one relies on if you have the Constellar Pollux and the Constellar Cause in your hand, and you have also the new Constellar Twinkle. If you normal summon Constellar Pollux, getting the additional normal summon, you can summon out Constellar Cause. Use Cause to boost the level of both of these cards on the field, and with it, you have this option for the level boost for both of these cards, and that boost, or if you were to go the other route with the spell card, you would have the rank 5 Xyz play right then and there for both of these cards. So then you can overlay the two into your Constellar Pleiades on the field. But with the other play, if you have the Constellar Twinkle in your hand, you can use the Constellar Cause with this card up to twice per turn, target Constellar monster, and raise Cause's level by 2, putting it at a level 6, then activate Constellar Twinkle, boosting the level of Pollux by 1 or 2. You'll choose 2, putting it at level 6, making both a level 6 monster, which you can then overlay into your Constellar Ptolemy M7 and not be, stuck out of its monster effect since you summoned it the proper way, detaching it to bounce a monster from the graveyard or field back to the owner's hand. For more of the other options, Constellar Pleiades just needing 2 level 5 light monsters if you have the instant fusion in your hand, along with the Cyber Dragon special summon of choice. You can summon out Pleiades without even having to take out your normal summon in the deck. You'll activate the instant fusion to summon out the Guilty of the D-Knight onto the field, being the level 5 light warrior monster. Before you do that, though, remember you special summon your Cyber Dragon by controlling, if you're a component of chosen monster, and you control none, then you'll summon that. Then use instant fusion to summon out Guilty of the D-Knight, giving you the 2 level 5 monsters, which then you'll use to overlay into your Constellar Pleiades. And you didn't even have to take up your normal summon yet, so if you have the additional resources in your hand to summon out those monsters, you can summon out Constellar Pollux and Cause just like before, raising the levels and getting out a second Constellar Pleiades on the field without having to take up too much of your resources altogether, giving you 2 monsters, which can then also be overlaid into some bigger Constellar monsters to use. And that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I really love going back to these old dual terminal storyline decks. Evil Swarms were fun, Constellars were fun, and you can see just how much the format has changed from when these cards were originally released. But as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.